Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Welcome back to Open Roads and Theatre Seats. If this is your first time visiting the channel, hello, my name is Claire. Welcome aboard. Are we about? I think we are today. Welcome aboard. If you don't know what this channel is and you're thinking what is going on, this is Open Roads and Theatre Seats, where we discuss theatre and also the occasional travel vlog. As you can probably see from the title, we're going to discuss theatre today, if that's alright with you all, because this week I went to the Wolverhampton Grand and I finally managed to catch Annie before it closes. So if you want to know my thoughts and feelings on this show, then stick around and we'll get into it in a few seconds. So here we go, we are back at the theatre. It's been a while. I felt not myself until recently, until last night in fact, because I actually went to see it yesterday when I'm filming this video, and I was like, oh my god, I'm home. It was one of those moments which is really sad, but I have been busy and poor and I hadn't had the ability to go to theatre for a while, and it just sucks to be away from something that brings you such joy. So it was lovely to return to the theatre, especially lovely to return to one of my local theatres, the Wolverhampton Grand, and also lovely to return to a show that I've seen many times in my lifetime, which is Annie. I have now seen it about 3 times, I'd say, in my lifetime, a couple of tours, and I also went to see it in London at the Piccadilly Theatre on its last iteration, which was unfortunately one of my worst theatre experiences ever, but that's a story for a different day. Back onto this production, let's get into it and talk about it, because there's not much of this tour left. It's nearing its end. There is 6 stops left on the tour, and about a month. It closes around the end of November. So if you haven't yet checked out this tour and you would like to, then check out the link that I'll try and remember to leave down below to the Annie website, so you can go and peruse and see where it's still got left on its tour. But here we go. So the story of this show we know all so well. The book of this show is by Thomas Meehan, and music and lyrics are by Charles Strauss and Martin Charnin. I can't read my own writing. Charnin, respectively. If you have been living under a rock for your entire life and you've never heard of any of the shows of Annie, get to listen to them, because they are really lovely to listen to, very catchy, and if nothing else, you'll know that the sun will come out tomorrow, which is a news flash we all need to listen to after we've had what has been, at least here, the wettest Friday the 30th I've ever experienced. This production has been directed by the one, the only Nikolai Foster, who is well known for being the artistic director. I could be wrong, and my Leicester friends will shout at me in the comments if I am, of The Curve, and also the choreography of this show was done by Nick Winston, and these two together were just like top notch. I really enjoyed a few things that this production did for certain characters, which I'll get into at a future time, but I really enjoyed the way it was set up, and creatively it was amazing to watch and just experience. The choreography, mwah, chef's kiss. The cast of the show is obviously not extensive. Tour casts normally aren't, just for cost reasons, but every time there was a large dance moment, it just felt like the whole stage was full of joy and wonderfulness and lines. I know the word lines from watching Strictly. Beautiful lines. But no, truly, everything was lovely to watch. The choreography was stunning and definitely brought the whole thing to life in the best of ways. Sticking with creative side, lighting was designed by Ben Cracknell, another firm favourite in my being, shall we say. Ben does a lot for the Curve as well, so I'm kind of aware of his work previously, and there were a few times I was like, yeah, that is a Ben Cracknell design right there. So it was really lovely to see his work again. Set and costume for the show are designed by Colin Richmond, which was just really lovely to watch. I really enjoyed looking at the set even before the show started. There was elements of like a jigsaw puzzle going on the back wall, which kept my mother very entertained, may I say. She was like, is that a head on that, or is that an arrow? It was quite entertaining. I think we decided in the end it was an arrow, but I can't remember. It had kind of a Matilda-esque feel to it, in that there was like design all over the back wall and also on some of the sides, but I truly just enjoyed looking at it. It was aesthetically pleasing to look at, but also had the kind of childish edge that works so well with the show that it is. It is a childhood classic, and the way that it was designed was just lovely. Let's go on to that cast. I have previously kind of mentioned them. The cast, as I said previously, was small but mighty, shall we say. It's packed full of talent. It was incredible to watch them perform. The ensemble, like I said, in their big dance moments, stunning to watch. And bearing in mind for my performance, there was 3 understudies / swings on. So we had playing the roles of Sophie, Mrs. Pugh and Frances Perkins. We had Belle Kizzy Green playing the roles of Bundles. Bert Healy and Ike's was Matthew Sweet. And then playing Lieutenant Ward, Franklin Roosevelt, plus his own normal track minus a few other things, was Lucan Simmons. So he also was, I am going to get this wrong if I don't check, Bert Healy, and also was part of the staff at the Warbucks Manor. So Lucan Simmons was here, there and everywhere. It didn't clock in my brain until I was writing my notes up today how much of the show he was in and how much he had took on as his understudy role. So it was very, very interesting to sit and watch him do his thing. And yeah, I was very excited to find out that that was because he was an understudy. I mean, I took my own picture of the little piece of paper that the Grand had saying who was on. I should have clicked, but I did not. So it was amazing to see some wonderful understudies and swings on. Talking of amazing, let's talk about the child cast that we had playing the roles of the children of the orphanage, and also for one part in Act 2, a train, which I truly enjoyed. Probably enjoyed too much than I would or should. Unfortunately, I was unable to find a cast list at the Grand to indicate who was each role, but each individual member of that child cast was absolutely amazing. I also really enjoyed at the end of the bows, all the adults kind of left after the last bow, giving a wave. The children were not leaving the stage. It was so funny to watch and I really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, you have your moment. So yeah, it was truly just really a joy to watch, to see the child cast like just having all the fun in the world. So yeah, unfortunately I'm so gutted that I didn't like cross-examinate my programme in the theatre. I was like, great, who have I got for each that role? I was quite tired last night when I went to go into the show, but I was not going to miss it. The one child that I can name is Annie, and our Annie last night, or our Annie for our performance, was the amazing Zoe Akinyosade. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her surname correctly. I'm probably butchering it, and I truly apologise if I had, but she was a star. No need to sugarcoat. She was such a star. She commanded the stage. Her voice was really, really beautiful as well, and I just really enjoyed watching her do her thing at what I assume is quite a young age. I would age her about 11 or 12, but I could be wrong because I'm terrible at things like this. Names and ages. Don't ask, it's safer. But yeah, Zoe was amazing. She worked so well alongside everyone on stage. It was really lovely to see members of the ensemble and the swings kind of doing little, are you okay? And little checks throughout the show even. It just felt such a like family feeling thing on stage, and I just really enjoyed it. Watching her with her counterparts, which included a dog which everyone in my performance truly loved. The role of Sandy, in case you're interested in this tour, or at least for our performances in Wolverhampton, bear with because he's got his own bit in the programme, is Amber, which, can I just read this, has nothing to do with the show, but where did it say? Amber is an 8-year-old Labradoodle. She was an understudy, love it, for Spot in Shakespeare in Love at the Noel Cowell Theatre. I love that there is an understudy dog for a show. Just like, yes. But I do wonder, is there an understudy for this performance or these performances? I don't know. The human counterparts of Annie were also top notch, especially Zoe's work with Alex Bourne, who plays Daddy Warbucks, and Amelia Adams, who plays the lovely role of Grace Farrell. Alex Bourne to me is just Daddy Warbucks. I don't know what it is about him, but he just has like pure Daddy Warbucks like vibes about him. No, I wasn't gonna say, I was gonna say something, I stopped myself because my brain suddenly went, that would come out very wrong. But no, Alex Bourne can do no wrong in the role of Daddy Warbucks, and I will fight anyone who disagrees, just saying. And the same with Amelia. Amelia was like stunning to watch, stunning to listen to, and her work alongside Zoe and also alongside Alex was again truly wonderful to watch. Let's move on now to the bad guys, bad people of the show. Let's be honest, some of the best roles in the show that aren't Annie and Daddy Warbucks and Grace, and they are firstly Miss Hannigan, who was played in our performance and for most performances now on the tour bar weekends for obvious reasons, which is Craig Revel Horwood, who I last saw in Bristol Pantomime 2022, and the way that Craig, I feel, performs in this show has a bit of the panto villain-esque-ness plus a little bit of humour, a little bit of something. I was very intrigued to watch Craig's portrayal of Miss Hannigan, because obviously when this tour was first announced there was 4 separate people named as Miss Hannigan on various different places in the tour. Unfortunately and guttingly, Paul O'Grady was one of the 4 and he sadly passed away, which makes me so sad. And Craig obviously stepped into quite a few of the places that Paul was supposed to perform at. I believe we were always supposed to have Craig as our Miss Hannigan in Wolverhampton. And like I said, I was very interested to see how he was at the role. I quite enjoyed his portrayal. I would question the accents that he chose to do, and the only other thing that kind of, I wouldn't say it annoyed me, but I was like, is this just for a laugh? Which obviously Hannigan is kind of the laughy villain. He is a panto villain, or she really, as I should say, is a panto villain. But for me, was unsure of the accent, and also a couple of times Craig clearly used his like low, deep voice, and it was kind of like, yes, I am a man being a woman. And I was like, is that needed? I don't know, because I assume on the Saturday performances when it's Jodie Prenger, she doesn't go for the low voices, but I don't know. Overall I quite enjoyed watching Craig Revel-Horwood do his thing. However, the true villains of the piece, and I shall never live it down, well I will, but I was telling my theatre friends on the journey back to home from the theatre, I was the only person who cheered in the bows for the roles of Lily St. Regis. She's named after a hotel, don't you know? And also Rooster, which are just my favourite roles in the show anyway. I don't think I could ever be a Lily myself, just because of my stature. I also don't think I could be a Miss Hannigan. I don't think Annie would be the roles, like the show for me, if I was able to get into theatre, which I probably won't. But Paul French, who played Rooster, and Billy Kay, who was Lily, was just top notch. Not only their work together alongside Craig in Easy Street, which is hands down my favourite song in the show, but also their work together, and just everything about that duo just worked, hands down. Paul's Rooster was just a little bit unhinged, like even more unhinged than I've ever seen previously, but I actually quite enjoyed it. And the same with Billy as Lily. Everything about those two just was amazing, and also the use of them previous to their actual entrance of the show. They kind of sneak in the background throughout a few of the earlier songs in the show before they finally enter into the orphanage to meet Miss Hannigan. And I loved that use of them throughout the show, because you kind of, it almost put into your brain previous to their entrance that they weren't the good guys. I believe they came in and they stole something in one of the scenes previous, or they were trying to steal something of somebody, and I loved it. I loved that they did that. It was a good piece of direction by Nikolai. See, I did say previously I'd come back around to that moment. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching this show. I'm glad that I caught it before it closes. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's got 6 venues left. So if it's coming anywhere near you, I would definitely recommend getting a ticket, especially if you can find a cheap one, which mine was last night. I did have to kind of put myself behind a pillar and I missed some of it, but it was either pay £29 and be slightly behind a pillar that I could lean either side of, or pay about £47.48 for a decent view. So that's what I did, saving money by watching theatre. Anyway, yeah, I have pretty much exhausted my thoughts and feelings on this show, which is good because I've been talking for about 15 to 20 minutes. But yeah, we're definitely worth a watch. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here. Go and check it out. It is absolutely a joy to watch. And before I leave you, I ask you this question. I asked this again to my friends last night, but when it comes to the film performances or film productions, when it comes to the Annie versions of films, which is in your eyes the best? There's only one correct answer. Let's see if anyone gets it in the comments down below. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. I've whittled on for long enough. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next one. But I love you all lots, and yeah, keep safe, keep warm, keep stagey. Bye.